Hello and welcome to the video about my Defender. There's been many videos of it being built, but I thought I'd do a quick oversight of the project and where we're at with it at the moment. So it's all in one video. So let's have a look around. Okay, so this truck started out as a 1985 Land Rover 90 2.5 non-turbo diesel. I rescued it from a hedge. It used to be used as a shooting wagon and it was a two-door pickup. First iteration, it came in, it had a galv chassis, a 300 TDI and the van conversion. But since then we have had another good go at it. So let me show you the details. It is now on a custom mare galvanised chassis down there. They have changed the original spring mounts for Discovery 2 rear spring mounts all round. So I have the mounts for airbags, so it is now on air suspension. We have made custom shock mounts for the front. Obviously the rears are fine. So it's controlled by paddle valves and it goes up and down independently on each corner on a manual valve. I'll quickly show you that. As you can see, it's got the airbags in the front. They are Airlift bags. They are an aftermarket German brand that are basically identical to the ContiTech ones. We have original Defender shocks with custom mounts on there and big custom mounts on there, fabricated by a very good friend of mine. So that's how the front is. The rear is just standard Discovery 2 basically. Screws into the axle, mounts on the top spring hangers, and then standard shocks in a standard place. The suspension is fed by a twin Viair compressors with a big 5 litre, I think it's 5 litre or 6 litre Airlift tank, all hidden under a false floor. I am loaded up, ready to go away, so there, I can't really show you that. And I've also in the back made a storage system in the boot, and then that gives me a big flat floor to put stuff in, and there's a compartment here, a compartment over there, and then one long compartment here. We also have a second battery. This all needs sorting out. We're still in the test and development stage. We've got a second battery charged off a second alternator on the TD5, and then I've got an amp there that's Bluetoothed to my iPad, so I don't have a head unit as such. I have, it's now gone dark. I have sound deadened the rear panels, put a layer of Celotex and then carpeted board. On the backs we have a carpeted headliner with sound deadening underneath that. And then we have 6x9s in a box there. And as I say, this was a pickup. I've since bought the van sides to go on it. So under the bonnet we have now a TD5. As I say, it was originally a 2.5 non-turbo, then I put a 300 TDI, and then I put the TD5 in. It's running off a Ashcroft R380 manual gearbox and an Ashcroft LT230 transfer box, both brand new. And this car also runs a full Discovery 2 loom. Now that was a bit crazy, especially when Defenders came with TD5s, but I was breaking a disco, so it made sense. Or I thought it made sense to transfer the whole loom over. I have trimmed the loom down, I have slimlined it, but we do have the disco fuse box and all the disco loom to run the lights. Basically the whole car loom now runs this Defender. So eagle-eyed will also notice the key is on the right and it is a disco alarm fob. We have the disco stalks, And we actually have a full Discovery 2 column as well, which means I have an adjustable column. Again, something else a friend cobbled together for me and made it, created some nylon bushes and etc, etc. So I now have a Disco 2 column, hence why that's there. We have the Disco 2 clocks, we have the Disco 2 surround and buttons. Again, this isn't a final version, this is a project in motion. I've got a black one that once I've finished trimming this down and making this right, I will use. Having that amount of wiring meant we needed an aftermarket dashboard. So I ordered a AliSport dashboard. They do a competition dashboard that looks very similar to this. They told me they would let me know when it was ready. After 3 or 4 months, I hadn't heard nothing, so I made my own. It is slightly different to theirs. Theirs comes halfway down here and means you have to move the wiper motor. Well, I extended mine, brought it all the way down, so now it covers the wiper motor. This again, unfortunately, because of the amount of loom that there is, this has to be a bit exposed, but I am going to work something out to cover that, probably a sheet of rubber or something. But yes, so I made my own dashboard. So all these are removable, so they can be customised however I want. At the moment, I've got one that has all the air controls, tank gauge, boost gauge, hazard switch and heated front and rear screens. Then the second panel houses the clock, the second alternator light, charging USBs, one on permanent, one on ignition, the central locking button, the electric windows, the heated seats, and a volt gauge to tell me what both batteries are doing. Also, the Discovery 2 climate control. Now, that kind of works. We have just worked out what does what, and we now have the temperature operating the flap that on the Defender heater box that controls hot and cold. So, all right, it's not going to get you to the exact temperature it says on the screen, but the warmer it is, the more the flap is orientated to the hot, colder it is to the cold. So that works. Ooh, and the other way. Oh, electrically operated flaps. There will be a second motor that operates the main flap that shuts it off from the bulkhead, and that will be on there as well. The fan works in increments as well, so that's all good. So that controls the heating, and it is quite good because I have rebuilt the heater box. Other things inside, we have an Optimil removable boss for a Disco 2, because I say it's a Disco 2 column, with a StarTech wheel that I got for a bargain price from one of the shows. It was a new takeoff. I probably will have that retrimmed as well at some point. What else do we have? We have a cubby box. I only lifted this on bits of wood yesterday, so it's yet to be finished, and I'll probably end up either recovering it or getting a black one. But with the MG seats on seat risers, this was so low you couldn't rest on it. So now I've lifted it so I can easily rest on it while using the gear stick, etc. So yes, MGTF seats welded to original runners, so they're quite comfortable. And then we have, which you can't see, we have a roof lining, carpeted roof lining, and the roof terra firma roof control centre with switches for the lights, like spotlights and things like that, and the CB built into it. Standard sun visors, chopped down, terra firma supply with end caps, but really they need changing to black ones. So that's that. We have the Optimil swivel lock once the steering wheel comes off, because it's a removable boss. We have the X-Eng pedal lock that locks up there and shuts the pedals out of the way. And we have temporary mats and a bit of sound deadening carpet there. Eventually I will get a full carpet set and mat set to go over there. I've also sound deadened and carpeted the seat box, but again, I will probably end up having a full kit to go over the top of that, but extra layers are fine. Externally, we have the wide extended wheel arches. We have Dixon fabrication rock sliders and front winch bumper. We have 15 by 10 modulars with Conforza CF3000s, and we have a full external a full external safety devices roll cage. Obviously, there's legs down there to the chassis, legs down there to the chassis, and legs down there to the chassis. We also have their ladder that goes with it. We have obviously light guards, original light guards, tow bar, swing away wheel carrier with a spare, and yeah. Now, obviously, it used to have the tank under the driver's seat, the fuel tank, to run the 300, which is why the fuel filler was there. But when I did the TD5 conversion, I used the TD5 lines, etc., and pump. So we got a TD5 rear-mounted tank. So this is now where TD5 fills up from. And then I've put an air PCL line there, so I can plug in air tools or tyre inflators, etc. Now, yes, that looks a bit agricultural. It was supposed to go on the inside, but I cut the hole a little bit too big, so it's now external. But once that's painted, it shouldn't be too glaringly obvious. So yeah, so we have side spotlights to illuminate the sides when you're off-roading, and there's some on the back that also illuminate the rear. We have the safety devices snorkel, not yet connected. Today I've run the pipe to underneath the header tank, but I need to connect the airbox to it, and I need to get a better airbox, and that is a cheap eBay one just to get it running. I need to buy one suitable for this, and this has also been remapped, so I need one with a bit better flow. So I said on the front we've got the Dixon fabrication winch bumper with a Samurai Warrior winch, £12,000 I think, something like that. Yeah, £12,000, yeah. And obviously the standard light guard, standard lights, etc. We have an Anderson connector there, just to run if I need to run anything off this, or maybe put some power to it. I'm not sure if the wire's thick enough for jump, but it'll at least get power back into the truck if I need it, especially to disarm with the fob, because we've got the standard Discovery immobiliser all built in. The beauty of having the whole lot. We have a second alternator, as I said. We also have a Circ enlarged intercooler from a Discovery. And to facilitate that, we have had to space the wing and the slam panel on both sides, just enough to fit that in, but it doesn't really make much difference. You don't really notice it. And then obviously I've got my number plate, which when spaced incorrectly kind of says Land R. So yeah, so that is my Land Rover Defender 90. Now, next jobs that need doing. The next mods I want to do are a set of brand new push button doors. I'll probably be buying them from SP Panels. They come galvanised with zinc coated skins, which obviously you can paint, and also with central locking and electric windows. Now, as we have the Discovery loom, we have all that there. That's all ready by the footwells to plug into doors. I have all the door looms at the Disco, so I can make them fit. So we'll have proper remote central locking, we'll have electric windows, and we even have a facility to have heated mirrors. So I'm sure there is an aftermarket place somewhere that does heated mirrors, so we could probably do that as well. And obviously being the Disco loom, we can have a heated front screen as well, all built in, all ready to be plugged in and used. Something that I didn't say, which you might have noticed on the dashboard, I've also incorporated the original Defender dash top. I have just carpeted it because mine was cut and chipped and not very pleasant, so I've carpeted it and managed to get it on top of my custom dashboard. So I think it kind of looks at home there. So yeah, so the doors I need to get a Puma bonnet, because I have had to chop the strengthening away to clear the header tank. And obviously with the Puma bonnet, I'll also be able to have the sound deadening on the top, the original TD5 cover. So a Puma bonnet, push button doors, and also I would like to probably uprate the turbo. I don't want to go crazy, but I'd like to just make it a bit more. I mean, it's been remapped already by Empire Tuning, so it's got some go, but I'd just like to, you know, freshen up bits, make it all new, make it nice. So that's that. I don't think there's anything else other than we've got a tracker installed, obviously, because we don't want to lose it. Yeah, I think we're pretty much there with it. So they're the next jobs I want to do, and just enjoy it really. Oh, I'm probably, when funds allow, get an airlift management on it. With an airlift management, it's just a big manifold that's computer controlled with an app on your phone or on the display, and the airbags run from the airbag straight to that, and then you can control them on the phone. So there's no valves, there's no gauges needed, so I can slim down my dashboard and what's on there, and it's all app controlled, or there's a little tiny controller. So basically, when you turn the key off, it dumps the air out. When you turn the key, it lifts it to your preset, and there's also about 5 presets, I think. So you can have it off-road mode, motorway mode, whatever. So yeah, so they're the things I'd like to do to it, but it's been a long time. We've had it, probably 8 years now, and it's had a lot of alterations, as I've said. So this is where I'd like to keep it, but it probably will be going a different colour as well. But we'll come to that in the future. This is it for now. So anyway, thanks for watching. It's just a little catch up as I couldn't do another full video. So yeah, like, subscribe and share if you want to see more on this. And we do various loads of other stuff as well. So again, thanks for watching. Take care.